Everybody's using mixed reality these days, augmented reality, virtual reality, to tell their stories and sell their products. But TV and movie studios are actually using their own form of mixed reality, and that's through the creation of installations. Here at South by Southwest, Prime Video is introducing a new film, a new show that they're going to release on May 31st called Good Omens. It's an 8-episode miniseries focusing on the trials and tribulations of the right-hand man to God and the devil as they try to prevent the apocalypse of the world. It looks like a great piece. But here at South by Southwest, they're actually building their own universe that focuses on what they're going to do in the show Good Omens. Adam Weiss is the Vice President of Strategy for Giant Spoon. And last year, these guys built, well, a virtual world of Westworld. Tell us what you did.
Yeah, absolutely. So we recreated Westworld essentially, starting 30 minutes outside of Austin, Texas. We had 3 acres of land where we decided to create Westworld. We had 60 actors who were all working across off of a 444-page script. So as all the guests, the visitors came, they stepped through the actual train from Westworld into the park of Sweetwater. So we created 16 different structures. So the opportunity to go to the Mariposa Saloon, have a drink at the Coronado Hotel, write a postcard at the post office, and ultimately just a chance to have a face-to-face interaction with all of the actors. So you can imagine all the different characters that would live and exist in a Western town was a chance for them to be face-to-face with each of them.
What a great opportunity for the public to really feel as though they're part of a show that they love or hate.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and when we designed the park too, we wanted to do 2 things. If you were a fan of the show and you've seen Westworld and you love Westworld, you could come into the park and essentially learn more about season 2. So there are different clues and Easter eggs planted throughout to kind of like give you a little bit of a hint of what might potentially be coming in the next season. But also, if you were someone who has never seen Westworld, maybe you don't even watch HBO that often, that you can still come into this. You understand some of the tropes of Western towns and how you can interact. We had so many people who came and said, I've never seen Westworld before, but like I am going to go watch it right away. So it was such an unbelievable introduction to the show for the people who had never seen it before.
Adam, this seems to be a trend. Companies, TV shows, movies are now using installations to market. Talk about that for a second.
Yeah, I think it's just a really great way to bring people and transport them into a new world, into this world that exists, especially for something like Westworld or Game of Thrones, that it's a property that they know and that they love and that they've been following for a year or multiple years. They want any way that they can get closer and closer to the brand and the characters and the IP, like they're going to find those opportunities. I think it's also an interesting way to introduce people to a new world that maybe they don't understand. What we're trying to do specifically is to build these different places that they have a lot of different ways to engage. So if it's with the actor, if it's with the actual activity, if it's the technology that's working behind the scenes or front of the scenes, that there's just a lot for them to do. Because in the case of Westworld, it really was this incredible park, but it was also this content generator. We talk a lot about like all of our actors, they were armed with guns, but the people who visit, they were armed with their cameras. So as they walk around, they can take pictures and videos of every single thing that they see. So it's not just for the people who are actually there, but it's also for the people who are flipping through their Instagram feed. And that's ultimately the goal. We want to make sure that people outside of the ones who are walking on the park are able to see this and experience it.
All right, one last question.
Sure, of course.
How many times did Teddy die at your installation?
Oh, man. So Teddy wasn't there. James Marsden did visit one of the final days, and he actually said, he's like, this is better than the set. He's like, I feel more like I'm at Westworld now than I ever have when we're filming. But with that said, the script itself was on an 1.5-hour loop, so people were... there's a couple people, specifically at the very end, were dying multiple times, and it always kind of reset. You learn that they were hosts, and then at the end of it, someone would say back to 1, they'd start over, and they'd do it again.
Clearly, these installations have brought these TV shows to life. Clearly, the most popular attraction here at South by Southwest is the Game of Thrones installation. After all, with the series set to resume with its final half season in April, everybody and their brother is lined up in front wanting to get in and meet some of the characters from the Seven Kingdoms. Here in this display, we're seeing a little taste of what Westeros and the world of Game of Thrones is all about.
What are you saying to me?
I'm here with some of the finer ladies of Westeros.
I'm a woman, not a lady.
lady. I'm a lady, that's for sure.
I would hope so.
Aye. I would like to. What is that? What do you put in my face?
Oh, don't worry about it. It won't hurt you.
What do you? That's what they all say.
Yeah, and they're right.
Are they?
Yeah. What's the difference between a woman of Westeros and a lady of Westeros?
That's a good question. Does it look like I'm a lady to you?
In many respects, yeah,
Does it?
it does.
Do you see me wearing a skirt? Do you see me being nice?
You're pretty nice as far as I can tell.
As far as you can tell.
Yes,
Ladies have houses.
that's true.
Ladies are of a house. I don't actually have a house, so technically I guess I was fibbing to you a bit. But this is a free folk.
Oh,
Need to know about it. She's not a lady.
well, the North remembers.
Aye.
The North remembers.